The night started like any other Friday in Dubai. The Burj Khalifa was glittering. The Arabian winds were warm and flowing across the sand dunes. People from all over the world were arriving in Dubai to celebrate the weekend, and among them were two strangers, both well-dressed, both hiding secrets, and both about to collide in a way neither could have imagined. She was everything that Ahmed looked for in a target: independent, educated, and a challenge to societal norms. Ahmed was immediately captivated by her, and he began his investigation. He was surrounded by his guests, exchanging pleasantries, showing off his wealth. The bride and groom were to enter their suite in the tallest building in the world. The weight of the situation settled around them, thick and heavy. She had vanished, leaving behind a city full of questions and a wedding that would become a legend. The police launched a massive manhunt for Ayla, but she seemed to have evaporated into thin air. Her phone was switched off, and her family was tight-lipped. Was she the victim or the mastermind behind the plot? And what had driven her to such drastic measures? The truth is, nobody really knows what goes on behind the gleaming towers and extravagant weddings of Dubai. Beneath the surface, there's a world of secrets, obsessions, and hidden agendas, and sometimes those secrets can be deadly. The room, which had been a symbol of luxury just moments ago, now felt like a prison cell. The glitz and glamour of Dubai's opulence served as the perfect backdrop for this chilling tale. A city where fortunes are made and broken, and where secrets can be buried under the sand. But in the end, it was the human drama that stole the spotlight. A story of obsession, revenge, and the lengths to which people will go to protect their honor. Now it's your turn. What would you have done if you were in Ella's shoes? Do you think she got away with it? Share your thoughts below, and don't forget to subscribe for more true crime tapes where every story has a shadow. The grand wedding suite in the heart of Dubai had transformed into a battleground. The air hung heavy with tension, the only sound their ragged breaths. The next morning, when the sun rose over Dubai, it revealed a shocking sight. The suite was a mess. Clothes lay strewn about. The bedsheets were torn, and the air was thick with a strange metallic scent. And in the middle of it all, sprawled on the floor, was Ahmed, lifeless and pale. He had taken his own life during the night, leaving behind a chilling note that spoke of his obsession with Ayla. The authorities arrived and the news spread like wildfire. The perfect Dubai wedding had ended in tragedy. Ahmed, the millionaire groom, was found dead on the morning after his wedding, and all signs pointed to foul play. The police found traces of blood, suggesting a struggle. Ahmed's body bore marks of violence, telling a silent story of a desperate fight. The mystery deepened when they discovered a recording device in Ayla's wedding dress. The tape contained hours of conversation between Ahmed and Ayla, detailing their twisted relationship and his sinister intentions. The climax of the tape was chilling, capturing Ahmed's final moments, his fear, his anger, and ultimately, his despair. It was a tradition in Dubai for the newlyweds to spend their first night together in the presidential suite of one of the city's tallest hotels, and the suite was luxurious beyond imagination. It had panoramic views of the city, a private bar, and a bedroom with a giant four-poster bed. But Ayla wasn't interested in any of that. As soon as she entered the room, she turned on the recording device hidden in her wedding dress. She had chosen the perfect spot for it, ensuring that every word would be captured. Then she started talking. She told Ahmed about everything she had discovered about him, about his victims, his lies, and his obsession. She laid out all the evidence she had gathered, name-dropping those who had wronged her. By the time she finished, Ahmed's face was ashy. He couldn't believe that he had been outsmarted. And then the unthinkable happened. Ahmed snapped. The calm facade he had maintained throughout the night evaporated, and he attacked Ayla. The fight was brutal, and Ayla knew she was in danger. But she held her ground. She fought back, fueled by adrenaline and years of pent-up anger. In the end, it wasn't physical strength that won the fight, but sheer willpower. After what felt like an eternity, Ahmed finally collapsed, exhausted and defeated. He was living his best life. Meanwhile, Ayla was in her room getting ready with her girls. But her smile was tight and her eyes were sharp. She was playing a part. As the night wore on, Ayla noticed Ahmed watching her intently. He was trying to read her, trying to anticipate her moves, but she was a step ahead of him. When they finally met in the reception hall, it was like two chess players facing off. Each move was calculated, Each word weighed. There was no joy in Ella's eyes, only determination. As the night progressed, Ayla played her part perfectly. She laughed at Ahmed's jokes, danced with his guests, and generally played the role of the doting bride-to-be. But behind the scenes, she was gathering information. She was talking to Ahmed's family and friends, carefully listening to everything they said. By the end of the night, she had enough dirt to bury Ahmed and his entire family. He followed her, hacked into her emails, and even hired a private investigator to tail her. But what he found was shocking. Ayla's past was squeaky clean. He couldn't find anything to tarnish her image. But Ahmed wasn't deterred. He was too obsessed to give up. And that's when he decided to do something he had never done before, to marry her. If he couldn't destroy her, he reasoned, he could always control her. He proposed to her, and to his surprise, she accepted. Soon the whole city was abuzz with the upcoming The wedding was going to be the event of the year, a celebration of old money and new. And Ahmed, ever the manipulator, planned every detail to make it a showcase of his wealth and status. They didn't know each other yet, but their paths were destined to cross in a luxurious hotel room at the top of Dubai's tallest building. The reception was held at the Armani Hotel in the Burj Khalifa, one of the most luxurious hotels in the world. It was a grand affair with gold chandeliers, red roses, and over 500 guests. Every detail was designed to impress, but beneath the shimmering surface, a battle of wills was being fought. Ayala knew Ahmed's true colors. She had seen the darkness in his eyes, heard the malice in his voice, and she knew that once they were married, she would become his next target. She had confronted him about his past, but his response had only confirmed her fears. He had admitted to everything, unapologetically. And that's when she decided to fight fire with fire. She agreed to the marriage, planning to use Ahmed's own obsession against him. What happens next is a tale that goes beyond a simple crime story. It's a story of obsession, revenge, secrets, and lies. The bride-to-be, Ayla, is an Emirati princess, born and raised in Dubai. She was the epitome of old money. Her family's name was synonymous with tradition and conservatism. The groom-to-be, Ahmed, seemed like the perfect catch for Ayla. He was rich, handsome, and seemingly from a respectable family. But behind the polished facade, Ahmed harbored a dark secret. You see, Ahmed had a peculiar hobby. For years, he'd been running what he called purity investigations. He would target well-educated, independent women who challenged the conservative values of their society. His method was simple, effective, and chilling. He'd hire private investigators to dig up dirt on his targets, often paying hefty sums to get access to their private lives. Using fake social media accounts, he'd befriend their colleagues and family members, becoming a seemingly trusted part of their inner circle. Then, when he had enough information to damage their reputation, he would expose it to the world through anonymous tips to the media or by leaking it to the authorities. His victims were always high-profile Emirati women, the kind of women whose reputation and social standing were their most valuable assets, and he would ruin them without mercy. So far, he had ruined 3 lives. One woman had tried to take her own life, another had fled the country, and the third had lost everything. But for Ahmed, these weren't just conquests. They were trophies. He kept files on each one of them, detailing their flaws and missteps. He reveled in his power to humiliate and destroy. But he didn't realize that his next target would turn the tables on him. Enter Ella, a beautiful and intelligent young Emirati woman who worked in a prestigious government department. On the day of the wedding, the whole city seemed to turn out. The night of the wedding, Ahmed was in his element. As the clock struck midnight, it was time for the grand finale. In the aftermath, there was silence. Neither Ayla nor Ahmed spoke. But despite all the evidence, Ayla was nowhere to be found. This case is a stark reminder that behind every dazzling facade, there might be a darker reality lurking. Subscribe to True Crime Tapas for more stories that expose the secrets behind the shine.